Hello everyone and welcome to today's Quick Learn. My name is Abby and I will be your host for this afternoon. So today we're going to be covering how to add a logo to, we're going to be covering invoice, but it applies to any documents within Sage, but we're going to primarily focus on adding that to your invoice. Now Quick Learns are a lot shorter than our usual sessions. They are around 20 minutes long, which will include between 10 to 15 minutes of demonstration, but it will have booked out 30 minutes in your calendar for if we have any questions still outstanding at the end. Now I do have Tina and Jackie on hand today to answer your questions, so keep them coming throughout the session. But please do bear with us, we will try and get to all of your questions as quick as we can. Now we are going to start the session at 5 past, so if you want to go and grab yourself a coffee or a cup of tea before we start the session, feel free to do so. In the meantime, I'm just going to put myself on a brief mute. Okay, so just while waiting for others to join there, I just want to go through a little bit of housekeeping. So if you're not sure how to ask those questions, you might be new to joining us, or you might be a regular attendee but don't usually ask questions. I'm just going to make you aware of how that will work and how you ask your questions. So your microphone will be muted during the session. If you do have any questions, you can pop them into the questions panel down the right-hand side. You can show this questions panel by pressing the option that looks like a little speech bubble with the question mark on in the middle, as you can see it on my screen there. And that will open up the panel, and that's where you'll be able to pop your question in the little ask the staff a question box, and then you can press that blue button that presses send, and that will come through to me, Jackie and Tina to answer for you. One more thing before I move on, there will be no handout for the session as it is mainly demonstration. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop myself back on mute because we are going to start the session at 5 past. So we'll give those others a couple of minutes more just to join our session. Okay, so let's get this session started. So I want to say welcome to those who have just joined us. Today's Quick Learn. This is where we're going to be covering how to add a logo to documents, but we're going to be specifically focusing on invoices today. So now we did do a full session a couple of weeks ago on how to personalize your documents in Report Designer, which was quite broad and covered quite a couple of different things that you can do within Report Designer. Whereas today, it's like a little refresher, but we're only going to be covering one aspect. So that's the adding the logo to invoices. That's what we're focusing on today. If you did want to watch Report Designer tips in more detail, we do have recorded sessions on our help centre. We've got a part 1 and a part 2, so you can check those out. I will show you later on in the session how to access those. I can see questions come through already from Mary there. Is putting your logo on your statements in a similar process? The answer is yes. The steps that we're going to go through today, you would apply it to any document in the software. You would apply exactly the same steps, but I'll go through that in the session. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. So I'm going to introduce the benefits of adding a logo to your layout. We'll then demonstrate how to save a copy of an existing layout and change the name to suit your business. And finally, how to add that logo to the document. At the end of the demonstration, I will then come back to my slides to summarise the session and talk about upcoming webinars. But please do keep your questions coming throughout the session, so either me, Jackie or Tina can pick those up for you. Okay, so introducing the topic. So incorporating your company logo into your Sage 50 accounts invoice layouts offers a range of valuable benefits. A logo adds a touch of personalization to your invoices, making them more engaging and relatable. So the benefits, it's going to boost your brand recognition, sets you apart from competitors, and it'll expedite payment processing and to improve overall cash flow. So what we'll do now is we'll dive straight in. We'll go into the software and I'll show you how to do this step by step. Like I say, we do have articles on how to do this as well. So help center articles on our help center. Okay, so I'm just going to pop over to my software. Okay, so we're going to start by going into invoices and credits. You can see I've got an invoice here. You want to select the invoice. It doesn't matter when you come to edit in your layouts, it doesn't matter which invoice you select. You just need to have one selected, so then you can press print along the top. Once you go into print, it's going to bring up, I've got one saved as a favorite, or you can go into layouts. To add one to a favorite, you just click on the little star, it'll turn gold, and that means it'll list it in your favorites as so. To remove it, you just click on the gold star. Now I'm going to work on this one today, so I'll show it where it is in the list. So I just scroll down. You can see it here. I've got my A4 card, invoice/credit discount, plain paper, print or email. Now let's have a look at what this one currently looks like. So I'm just going to select this invoice layout and I'm just going to preview it so we can see what it looks like before we make any changes. So you can see it's pretty plain. It's not got much to it in terms of design. So what we're going to do is you can, along the top, you can click edit, or if you don't preview it, you can right click on the layout on your mouse and you can click edit here, or you've got edit along the top in the top left. So I'm just going to click edit here and it's going to open up Report Designer for me. The first thing you want to be doing is you want to be changing the name of this layout. The reason for that is because you can't save over the top of a standard layout. So as you can see at the moment, I'm in this standard layout that I've selected. I can't save over the top of this, and that's because of you can't save over the top. You have to save it as a copy. So what we're going to do first is we're going to change the name so we can make it more identifiable in the list. So I'm going to go to report along the top. and I'm going to go into report properties. So in here, you can change the report name. So I'm going to change mine to, let's have a look. Let's copy and paste mine over here. So I'm going to change mine here to AP Demo and Solutions Invoice with Logo. So that's the name of my company. I'm just going to leave the description as it is, but you can change the report description as well. Once you're happy with what you've changed the name to, you click OK. And what we're going to do is we're going to save this as a copy. So we're going to go to File in the top left, and we're going to go to Save As. I want to change this to what I've just had it before, so AP Demo and Solutions, if I can spell it right, with logo. Now I don't need to change where I'm going to save it, as it will default to the correct place. I'm going to click Save. If I close this down, I'll just show you where it is in the list. So you can see here, I'll just close it down so it refreshes the list. So we'll go to Print, go back into Layouts. We'll just find it in the list. So we can see here at the very bottom, AP Demo Solutions and Invoice with Logo. And we can see I kept the description, so it's just popped that description in there. And you can see as well, the file name is also changed as well. Now I'm just going to favorite that. So now it'll appear in my favorites. So let's open this back up and we'll add the logo in. So that's the first step. You always need to be changing that. If you want to be changing the name, make it more identifiable from the standard layout. You want to be changing the name and then File and then Save As, so then it saves another copy. That makes it really easy if you find a template you want to use, an existing one that already exists in the program, and you can file and then save it as a copy and then work from that. So you're not working from scratch. So to add the logo into the layout, what you're going to do is you've got the option to add an image, a logo from here, or you can click Toolbox and you've got the option to add, you've got the same option there. So I'm just going to click here. So you want to make sure it's highlighted in orange. That means that you've got that one selected. And then you just click roughly in the area you want your logo to appear. So I'm just going to click here. And you're going to get this option. You always want to be selecting the top option if you have your logo created, might be by a design agency. So we're just going to leave those options ticked. The first one, I'm going to click OK. So now I'm going to open up the files on my computer. So you need to locate where you've saved that image. So I've got my AP Demos and Solutions logo, and also as well, I've got what the file extensions should be, what it can be, what the file type can be. So I've got a PNG. So I'm just going to open up. And you can see it's quite small at the moment. So I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in position in the top right. And then I'm going to use the little, as you can see, you've got all these little options here. You can drag it upwards, drag it downwards. I'm going to drag it diagonal so it fits nicely in that top right hand corner. Might be that you might have a little bit extra space about, so I'm just going to drag it a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger. You can drag it as much as you want as well, and also as well to move it around, you can either drag it by clicking the left on your mouse, then dragging it about, or you can use your keys on your keyboard, or the arrow keys, sorry, to move that around as well. So you can get it really as close to the edge as you want, right up the top using your arrow keys if you want a bit more position. Once you're happy with the positions, I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. So once you're happy with the position, you can preview it. So you've got the preview option down here, or you've got the preview. So if you go to view in the top, along the top bar, and you've got preview here. So then it allows you to see what your invoice is going to look like with that logo on in the corner. So you can get a rough idea what it looks like on screen. So we scroll up. And also as well, you might want to print a copy out. So you've got the print option here. So you want to print it out, see what it looks on your paper, see if it's the right size, and see if you're happy with that. To go back to the report designer, you want to make sure that you're not pressing, do not press this cross, as that will close report designer down. You want to be pressing close here if you are in preview. Alternatively, you can go back to the designer option down the bottom, but the easiest one is the one along the top here. So we just click close. It's going to take us back to the report designer page. Once you're happy with what you've done, all you're going to be doing is you can press the save icon here, or you can do file and save there as well. Once you've saved it and you're happy, you can just click close, and that closes the report designer down. So then if we use this one again, we're going to preview it. You can now see what that looks like with my logo on there. So that's how easy it is to add a logo to a document. You follow those same steps for any document. So I'll show you again, but we'll do a statement this time. So if we go to customers, we're going to go to statements. I'm just going to use this one I've already got favorite. So I'm just going to edit. Exactly the same again. You want to be report properties. So then we're going to click OK. Once we've changed the name of that one. So then we're going to do file and save as again. Again, AP demo. We'll just take the dot layout out of that. So again, we're going to rename the file. We're going to click save. Let's just put a 1 on the end of there. So we'll click save. And that's saved it. This time we don't have to close or reopen because we're not going to favorite it just yet. So again, we're going to go back to add an image or logo. We're going to click in an area. We're going to leave it as the top option. Select that logo again. Click open. Drag it where you need it to be, again, with your mouse, or you can use your arrow keys. You just need to make sure that you've got these little squares showing so that it knows that you're moving it around. Again, drag it down, move it around. Again, I'm just going to use my arrow keys, it's a little bit more accurate. Make it a little bit bigger. Once you're happy, you just, again, file and save. So now if we close that down and we preview, click OK. And it's not worked because I haven't selected the right layout. Bear with me a moment, I've selected the other one. Let me just find the layout I just created. There we go. Preview, nope, that's still the same one. Bear with me. There we go, get there eventually. So again, I can favorite it. Preview, okay, there we go. So you can see there now I've got my statement. So it'll go out to my customers and it's got my logo on there as well. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to pop back to my slides so I can summarize the session for you guys. So bear with me a moment. Just a reminder, just while I summarise the session, if you do have any further questions, now is your chance to get them in before we come to an end. What I'll do now is I'm just going to summarise this session. So to start, you're going to select your layout you wish to use and edit. You're then going to change the name by going to Report, Report Properties. You then go to File and then Save As to make sure you've saved that as a copy. You then make the relevant changes, i.e. adding a logo. You then are going to save and then close Report Designer. And then again, you can add to favorites, which is optional. Now I can see a couple of questions we've had in terms of, can we add it to this? Can we add it to that? So yes, you follow the same steps to add your logo. So for example, it'd be exactly the same steps for sales or purchase orders, your remittances, delivery notes, things like that. So you can follow exactly the same steps. You just go into the relevant area, you find your layout or your report or your statement that you want to use, and then you make sure that you follow exactly the same steps. Okay, so let's have a look at the upcoming webinars we've got coming up. So tomorrow, that's another session with me. We've got add text to your invoice. So we'll focus really around how you can add your bank details to your invoices and other documents, but we'll just cover a little bit of everything on there. So that's at 2 p.m. We've also got some improved bank feed session that have been happening throughout August and September. So that's on Thursday at 2 p.m. That's on the 7th. So that's how we demonstrate the improvements in the new upgrade. Again, if you can't make that Thursday session on the 7th, then we do have them throughout the rest of September as well. We've also got credit control for your customer record, another quick learn on how to add payment terms to invoices. So also as well, we've got get paid online with OPO, so that was formerly known as Sage Pay. We've also got importing customer records, cash flow option, and also company archive as well. Now, before we move on, I just want to show you where you can find the recorded sessions for the other report designer sessions that we have. So I'm just going to pop back to my software. Now you can follow with me as we do this if you wish. So on your home page, you want to scroll down and you'll see this tile here. It says free webinars. So if you click more info on that tile, that's going to open up in the browser for you. So I'm just going to drag it across. So this is going to open up our registration page. So if we scroll down, we've got the option for view previous recordings. So if we click on there, it's going to open up another tab. But if we scroll down here, so this recordings page is in alphabetical order. So if we're looking for report design, so we scroll all the way down. So you can see here, we've got a couple here. So we've got report design, personalize your invoice layout, part 1, and we've got part 2. Now these do go quite a lot into detail. So they are a lot longer than what our usual sessions are. So they are around 45 minutes. And like I say, these are recordings. So there is no live Q&A, but you can watch it at in your own time, pause it, rewind it, that sort of thing. We also do have as well, you've got understanding customer statement layouts as well. Another thing I want to show you as well on the registration page, at the very, very bottom, if we scroll all the way down, we do also have a suggested new topic form that you can fill out. So if you have any ideas, we take on board any ideas that get suggested to us. You can fill this form out. If there's a topic that you want us to see us cover. Okay, so that does bring us to the end of today's session. Please feel free to stay around for the next couple of minutes or so if you are waiting for an answer to a question or have any further questions to ask. If you've got what you need and you want to leave the session, You will receive an email in around an hour or so with links to both our webinar schedule and today's recorded session for you to refer back to if needs be. Upon exiting the session, you will see a survey at the end. If you could please let us know any feedback regarding the session, that would be greatly appreciated. What I'm going to do now is I am just going to put myself on mute so I can just see if there's any questions still outstanding. So it won't be too long. I can see Diane's just asking there, where's the link to the free webinar? So that's on your home page. You'll see a tile on your home page. I'll quickly show you again, so I'm waiting for any outstanding questions. So on your home page, you'll see the free webinar tile on the right-hand side there. So clicking more info, that takes you straight to the registration page, which has also got links to the recordings as well. Okay, I can see that Diane has said that she doesn't seem to have that tile. So what I'll do is I'll show you another way that you can access the webinars. So I'll just quickly pop back to here. So what you can do on your browser, you can just type in www.sage.co.uk/webinars. That takes us to this page here, where you can choose between 50 accounts and payroll. So we'll just pop on the 50 accounts, and it takes us to the same page. And again, you would just scroll down, and there's the option for your recordings there. Okay, so majority of the questions seem to have been answered. So what I'll do is I'll wrap this session up. I want to say thank you to Jackie and Tina, who's been on hand today to answer your questions. I want to say thank you to you all for your participation. So just a reminder, we've got plenty of sessions over the next couple of weeks, so don't be shy and get registered. So I want to say another thank you and take care.